Hello everyone, this is my first video in several days. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brian Jennings. This channel exists to buff the varnish off of the bullshit that is show business as a whole. Right? I wrote Quentin Tarantino a series of letters about playing the lead in his last film, The Movie Critic, which ultimately led to him canceling the film, which ultimately led to where we are now. And I'll be real honest with you, I'm kind of like over the whole fucking everything. I'm over talking about it. I've written a great novel and I've been sending it out to the industry, and I suspect that it's causing waves in a big way. But Quentin is exerting this Herculean level of psychic pressure upon the world to keep me in the corner, and the only reason that I'm making this video right now is to say that the press, right, they're all focusing, right, like no matter what the press says, right, like they're focusing on the wrong things, right? Oh, so the press, the Guardian, right, the Hollywood Reporter, People Magazine, TMZ, all of these entities, right, they'll report in an instant on the fact that Quentin Tarantino is an arrogant ass who says that Paul Dano is not a good actor, but they don't have anything to say about me when I email them directly and say that Quentin Tarantino is the most evil fucking man in the world, and here's the reasons why. Right? Is Paul Dano a bad actor? No, I wouldn't say that. Is he memorable? I don't know. Like, Quentin's my spiritual father. We have a lot in common. So maybe I don't know. Who cares? Honestly, a cynical, arrogant bastard doesn't like someone. Oh, is that news? Really? Gosh. Oh, how do I sleep at night? Oh, how do I live in the world? Right? Matthew Lillard's not a good actor. My point is that anyone's opinion is only worth what you allow it to be worth. And so we as a society have fallen victim to Quentin's spell, which is Harvey Weinstein's spell, right? Which is, oh, I'm a good writer, and so like the depraved, fucked up shit that I'm into doesn't really matter, because like what you're supposed to pay attention to is the writing that I offer, and so the things that I say are offered as peculiar anecdotes that we all dismiss as a passing thought, right? And so this is the downside to writing, right? Because you can be a writer of real esteem. You can be Salman Rushdie. Right? You can be Thomas Pynchon, right? To where every single fucking sentence that you say is solid gold, rooted in love, rooted in the desire to help people, all of these things, right? But at the same time, if you want to be a writer and say, oh, this is my product, right? Especially in the world of film and show business, then you're opening yourself up to like a whole new sort of like avenue of criticism that can in fact destroy you on some level, right? And so I'm subject to the same whims, right? I acknowledge that. But what I'm saying is that if this writer, right, let's just say that everything that Quentin said was actually said by Paul Thomas Anderson. Would it hold the same weight that it holds now? That's my point right now. Right? That Quentin has to exert a higher level of pressure upon the world so that we focus on the things that he's saying instead of the fucked up shit that he's infamous for. And the same could be said as well for Paul Thomas Anderson. Right? That one cat on Reddit, They're on it, right? And they say that PTA is a real fucking sleazebag and he fucks all the women in his films. Right? And who's been the protagonist of the last two films? Two fine-ass women. Right? What's Maya Rudolph got to say about it? Oh, gosh, I don't know. Right? But he's not held in the same regard, right, as the guy who wrote Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, as the guy who insulated Harvey Weinstein for his whole fucking career, right, as the guy who sucks feet and everyone turns a blind eye to, right, that as a writer, we're all allowed to have our proclivities, right, and this is why Thomas Pynchon says nothing, because he's smart, right, that we're allowed to do whatever we want. Me, as a writer, I have my proclivities, right? Which no one will ever be known by me publicly. Quentin knows all of them. Right? But Quentin puts all of his boom celluloid, like, oh gosh, women's feet are so pretty, oh, I put them on the, right? My point is that if Matthew Lillard and Paul Dano are upset about what Quentin has to say about them, then they're acting for the wrong reasons. That's the real point, isn't it? Right? That if you want to act, like for me, right, like when I think about Hamlet, and I say, I'll be with you straight, go a little before, how all occasions do inform against me. Right? I could give a fuck what Quentin Tarantino has to say about it. That's not why I do it. Right? So, what's the distinction between the thing that I'm talking about that's in the press and the thing that this channel is focused on? Is that those actors, right, like all of those actors that are like whomever, Reese Witherspoon, whatever, whomever is like defending Paul Dano and Matthew Lillard, right? They have a superficial level of understanding of the mind, of the world, of their place within the world, of their place within show business, and they're barking like a dog at a dove in a tree, right? But when I tell the world that Quentin is a powerful clairvoyant and uses his clairvoyance to exert psychic manipulation and pressure upon the whole of show business, that's a palpably dangerous observation. Beyond space and time. And so, this is why I talk about it. Because Paul Dano can dismiss the things that Quentin says about him in public. Right? Because, right, if Paul Dano was looking him in the eye, he wouldn't say a goddamn thing beyond nice to meet you. But when Quentin tells everyone around him in his world, in private, that I'm a loser and I'm insane, it behooves me to reach out to all of these people and say, in fact, he's lying about me. He does not speak for me. That he tells you that he doesn't want me to die and that I'm insane because, in fact, he's insane and he does want me to die. That's right. And so how do I know that? I know that because he stuck his nose up at my writing and turned his back on my writing when he actually wanted me to speak to him. That's the point. At the screening of Jackie Brown last year. And so my point is that Matthew Lillard and Paul Dano, they have nothing to worry about. That's a surface level, hollow affect. That means nothing to how Quentin Tarantino sees the world. But it's very telling for me Because that's what he says publicly. Right? And so, on the other side of that, what he says privately is that Brian Jennings, the man who wrote him about the movie critic, has lost his mind, and he does not want him to die. When in reality, Quentin Tarantino has bit off more than he could chew, has created a palpable, unbreakable celestial connection as a result of remote viewing me for hundreds of hours, and has in fact lost his mind and does in fact want me to die as a result of his campaign that he can always deny. Right? And so my point is that all those things that he said to Bret Easton Ellis, right? He's a candy-ass coward, and he would never say to Paul Dano's face. He would never say to Matthew Lillard's face. Right? And in the same way that he tells everyone in the industry that I write to help us resolve our condition, that I'm insane, right? That I don't know what I'm talking about, that I've lost my mind, he would never say those things in public. So, just something to think about. My point is that his opinion means nothing. That's the point. Right? That he looks in the mirror, he looks at his fine fucking wife, he looks at Bret Easton Ellis' face and says, oh, gosh, like here's my quips and my anecdotes about the world, about like show business, about movies. And it's just one arrogant man's opinion. That's the point. So, it's not my point. My point is that The Guardian has no problems reporting on the fact that Quentin has an opinion about Paul Dano, but they don't want anything to do with the fact that I say that Quentin's the most evil man in the world. That's my point. My point is that like he has such an iron grip over the press that it is, honestly, it's pathetic on the part of the Fourth Estate, the journalistic integrity body of the world. That they are so fucking consumed by this idea that Quentin Tarantino is famous, and so therefore anything that anyone says against him must be some sort of fabrication or delusion of a madman, that they literally go out of their way to not report on the fact that there is at least one actor in the world saying that he's the most evil man in the world. And so that's right. Rather than talk about how he says Paul Dano's not interesting, I am saying that he's a sick degenerate who practices the black magic dark arts that have been practiced since time immemorial. And he holds a great darkness and evil within him that now it is incumbent upon me to discuss in public, right? And so I am. And so all you got to do, anybody who wants to check my credentials, right? You reach out to Ari Emanuel, A. Emanuel at WMEentertainment.com. You reach out to his agent Mike Simpson, M. Simpson at WMEentertainment.com. Right? You reach out to CBS. You reach out to Sony executive Tom Rothman. Right? You reach out to his producing partner, Stacey Sher, Andrew McDonald. Right? You reach out to his cinematographer, Ralph Richardson. Should I keep going? Right? My point is that he didn't cancel the movie critic for bullshit reasons. Egotistical reasons. Right? He canceled it because he wanted to give an actor a shot. But in order to give the actor that shot, I had to play his telepathic mind game and let him direct me up onto the stage. And so when he turned his back on me, I saw it for what it was, a manipulative mind game. And I turned my back and left. And so now, as a result of his evil, like this is it's such a two-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword for sure. That if I had known that he was going to subject me to such a palpable evil, I would never have not given him what he wanted. That if he had done everything backwards, If he had put all the evil on me before Tribeca, I would have given him what he wanted because I would have appreciated what I signed up for. But at the same time, I do not support evil. And so in that way, I chose the right side. As difficult as it has been, as difficult as it is, as difficult as it will be forevermore. So, all I've ever done is write letters from the heart. He has spent 500 hours remote viewing me. Therefore, we have a palpable hive mind. Me, him, Daniela, any other fucking degenerate that calls him master. Right? Just ask her. Just ask that fine fucking witch. Right? And so, this is me reminding you, right? Oh, that Quentin Tarantino says an actor's not good, right? Here's an actor saying Quentin Tarantino is the most evil fucking man in the world. So, let me know what you think. Know that life is not an accident. The same processes that allow Quentin Tarantino to subject me and my magnetic body to high evil are the same processes that allow all of life to manifest and flourish. Hold those dear to you close. Lift up your soul to God, which is not a creature in creation. It is an abstract intellectual quality which allows life to flourish and manifest within and around, which we experience in the material world as stillness. Be still and know that I am God. God bless.